Hi guys, welcome to the channel of love. It's Sunday. Tia Lula was sleeping on the chair. She's got up now, but like she's dribbling. It's like you're dribbling. And she's purring, and she's decided to sit there. She's let me have the chair. Okay. I think it's the coolest room in the house. Okay. Right, I've chosen some decks. We're not going to be on for too long. I thought I'd come on because I want to give you your daily activity. Otherwise, I'm going to get into my day, and I know that most of that's going to be outside today. So before I go out to play, we should do a reading, and then if I don't come on again later, not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world anyway. Okay. Let's have a look at the Witch's Tarot. That's the Divine Feminine's energy there. Studying came through first. She's polishing up her act. And then I'm taken to this skull here, like, to be or not to be? That is the question. But I felt that's like the masculine's energy. So yesterday I had the death cup, okay, like what I was drinking out of. Had like the skull on both sides. So there's his masculine here. Is he studying? Look, because his head's down. She's polishing up her... Oh, I feel a bit shaky. Hold on. It's got that cup, look. Well, that sounded like someone was trying to get through the window then, was tapping at the window. The window's not even open. Okay. And then we've got like this, is that a raven? Oh, it's taken to like the house of Ravenclaw. Right, so we've got this skull here. And then we've got this feminine, and she's polishing this coin. In a way, it's like, you know when you polish like Aladdin's lamp. Well, she's polishing this coin here. So she's manifesting abundance, money in particular. In particular, she's manifesting money. A bit noisy outside, isn't it? I feel like some of those pages, I was going to call them leaves in the page. There's some little gaps. There's certain pages that have been reread and reread. I mean, polishing up your act, polishing up your manifesting skills. Let's have a look anyway. Let's have a look at this. Knight of Cups. And it feels like while you're focusing on the pentacles, actually you're manifesting this cup, this love, this cup of love. And it's because, well, it's like because you're attached. Well, you can see she's polishing a pentacle. So she's focusing on pentacles, which means she's detached from this side. Detachment, and in it comes. Good morning, Laurie. Well, good afternoon. Good morning. Up early. Pet sitting. One of us, a bull mastiff. One is a bull mastiff. 250 pounds. Is a huge big baby, but wants to sit on my lap. Oh, how lovely. You're going to let him sit on your lap. You've got to. A huge big baby. Okay. And, well, what shouts out again is it's the Wheel of the Year. Oh, I was going to say the Wheel of Fortune, but the Wheel of the Year. But a pentacle shouted out, and but the pentacle's there. I say this feminine here. She's mastered manifesting, and as she focuses on one area of her life, the others seem to be blossoming and blooming as well. That's it. That's it. The Wheel of the Year. Summertime. This summertime. It's taken to the longest day of the year. which is the 21st of June. And the Magician's energy, which is the energy of manifesting. So I'm going to read all three of these cards. And what I'm going to read is the description of the cards, not really the meaning of the cards. And then we've got the Knight of Pentacles. So it's kind of, that's interesting because now it's like, if the masculine's focusing on love, giving that cup of love, it looks like, I don't know, look, he's got a pentacle here. So, it seems like his life is increasing in the material sense. Very interesting. It's about like turning love into money. You feel like the richest man in the world. There's an audio, a book called The Richest Man in Babylon. Eight of Pentacles. Let's have a look and see what's going on in this cup. In this cup. In this card. Look at that. I saw the sign and it opened up my eyes. I saw the sign. 555. I actually checked out the meaning for that because I keep seeing 555. And also yesterday what was going through my mind was like signs and synchronicities that you see when you are, should we say, aware. So what was coming through was like when you see people that look like your counterpart and you hear the music that reminds you of them, and number plates and numbers, billboards, television programs, the theme of the story, all these signs and synchronizations on 555. And today I saw 555 and it was like, I'm just going to Google this angel number. Okay. Eight of Pentacles. Let me just read what Laurie said first. Last night was strange. I don't know if there were ghosts around. This is really interesting, Laurie. Okay. I put a white bubble around me. House was built in 1759. Of course, that equals 22. I was so tired last night. It's like 9:15. I sent a message to the guys saying, you know, I might not be like back down because I was just chilling. I had my dinner. I went to chill. I was watching a little bit of Netflix but falling asleep. I don't think I'm going to like reappear tonight. Extremely early. I was just so tired. So I was up like proper early. But then I went back to bed again. But I was thinking about what I wanted to watch last night, and the movie Ghost went through my mind, and that's what set me off on that trail of thought of signs, synchronicities, where if you go to that film Ghost, it's like they're trying to tell you, like all the time, what the signs are. So, especially when he like enters Oda Mae, is that her name? Oda Mae Brown. He enters her body and they use it as a vessel. And I was thinking, like, Molly's really got to trust that, hasn't she? That, you know, Whoopi Goldberg was actually, when really she was a fake, but she wasn't. It didn't stop that spirit from being able to use her as a vessel. And then how he sang all night long, I'm Henry VIII, I am. What else was there? Oh, the moving of the objects. So, well, you know the movie. You know the movie. So that was coming through last night, and then you mentioned ghosts. Okay. Laurie, as I text that, it's 7:22 here. Laurie, an eagle came by yesterday, and I didn't realise it was the anniversary of DM's brother's death. I said to him, your brother is watching you. Light bulb moment. I sometimes fear having that ability. No. I've just got to dab myself because I feel like I'm got a little bit of a sweat coming on. What I noticed this morning, which I don't normally notice because it wasn't that long ago, I was thinking I don't see these birds like in the garden or on the houses, you know, the rooftops. This morning, 2 magpies. And that was actually as I was researching what 555 means. So, hold on, I'm a little bit tickly now. Can we read these cards? 8 of Pentacles, yes, because I want to go out, and I told Jamie I'd be no longer than half an hour. He's just finishing off some jobs in the garden before we go out shopping. Our mission is to go and buy like a paddling pool / swimming pool, have it erected and filled before Megan gets home from work. A witch sits behind a wooden work table in an alchemist lab at twilight. So we'll have a look at what's going on here. So a witch sits behind a wooden work table in an alchemist lab at twilight. She has a thoughtful expression on her face and wears a gown of leaf green with lace at the edges of her sleeves. She holds in her hands a large golden pentacle and is polishing it carefully with a cloth. Her hair is curly and wild, as if she has been working diligently for some time. Her eyes are green and focus solely upon her task. On the table before her is an open, what does this say? An open grimoire, a burning candle, a piece of antler from a deer, a few clutches of fresh herbs, and a human skull. Her familiar, a raven, perches on the top of her chair and appears to be keeping an eye on the room for his mistress. Well, that's so interesting because that's what I felt like Tia Lula was doing. She was in this chair when I came in. And it's like, hello, what are you doing in here? I'm keeping an eye on the room. Okay. Her familiar raven perches on the top of her chair and appears to be keeping an eye on the room for his mistress. Representing the mysteries of the craft and magic, ravens are the traditional animal ally of the seer. Behind the witch, on the stone wall alongside large mullioned windows, neatly hang 7 other golden pentacles. She is almost finished and is putting the final polish on this 8th pentacle. Soon her task will be complete, and she will add the last pentacle to the other 7 that are displayed so carefully upon the wall. In this card we see that the witch cares more about the integrity of the work itself and not the glory that may come when her task is done. Okay, Wheel of the Year, the Wheel of Fortune. Just seeing if I can get some air from it. We're having a heat wave, a beautiful heat wave. I was going to say X. Okay. X marks the spot. I'm taken to like this thing I used to do with my children up their back and give them the chills, but they used to love it. So it's like X marks on the back. X marks the spot. Spot dash. Spot dash. Spot spot spot. Up crawls a spider and bites you on the neck. Cold blood running down your arms. Tight squeeze. Slight breeze. Now you've got the shiver bees. Good afternoon, original. Oh, and what was coming up yesterday was 2 words. Hot, bothered. It's like, I don't allow like the temperature conditions to bother you. Big tests, aren't they? How do you respond in different situations? How do you respond when the weather's really hot? How do you respond when the weather's really cold? Are you a complainer? It's all tests, aren't they? Because I was speaking to Original the other day, like on a video call, and we were pulling some cards, and like heat stroke, someone being extremely stroppy because of the weather. Okay, because of the weather conditions. Right, anyway, let's go to the Wheel of the Year. A silver lunar pentagram is surrounded by the 8, so there was 8 pentacles, so let's just pay attention to what we're actually reading about here. Anyway, Lucy, get back to this. Okay. A silver lunar pentagram is surrounded by the 8-spoked golden solar wheel of the year. So the pentagram's in there, can you see it? In the background we see bright blue skies and soft clouds. This card evokes the magic and mystery of the wheel of the year, all 8 Sabbaths and the 4 seasons and cycles of nature. Can I just read what actually you've put, guys? Laurie, magpies came up in another reading I listened to, so many things. Original, happy Sunday, darling. Laurie, flipping TV channels, the show The Witch's Apprentice. Well, there you go. Hello, Original, says Laurie. What is this? Is this, looks like you want a snuggle. Let's have a snuggle, Laurie. Line dot electric shot. Okay, Original, I avoided a few people because they've been procrastinating about the heat. Putting off the heat. How do we procrastinate the heat? Oh, it is, it's summer. That's interesting. Was that her name? Because when I googled 555, which you guys can do, it would come up with what does 555 mean in love? What does 555 mean in twin flame connection? So I was clicking on these because then they just bring down a little drop down. So and there was one, I can't read it because my only access to the internet is via my phone in here. So. And I think there was one that said, and Summer says, because I thought, okay. And Summer. Right, did we finish? Well, we have nowhere near finished this message yet. Well, how long we got? 12 minutes, guys, come on. The 4 seasons and their corresponding tarot suits are illustrated together. The earth element is represented by the pentacle, and the winter solstice with holly, the classic Yuletide plant. Now I mentioned about the longest day of the year, so summer solstice is the 21st of this month. Where are we today? We're on the 11th. Okay, 10 days time. In magical herbalism, holly is used for good luck and protection. Well, I felt that them messages have been coming up because I picked up the 4-leaf clover on the Hierophant's hand and then putting all the signs together now. Well, they're becoming crystal clear. Because your sacred site is clear. In the bottom right we see pink cherry blossoms for the spring equinox together with the sword, which are both associated with the element of air. The cherry blossoms in classic spring flowering tree signify nobility and chivalry. In the bottom left corner there are vibrant green oak leaves for the summer solstice. So I said that book and something about, I wanted to call the pages leaves, like the leaves of the book. So in the bottom left corner there are vibrant green oak leaves for the summer solstice and the blooming hawthorn wands from our deck. Both the wand and the season of summer correspond beautifully with the element of fire. It's getting hot. Okay. Here, the foliage of the midsummer oak represents health, wisdom, virtue, and long life. Finally, in the upper left-hand corner of the card, we see an enchanting mixture of beautiful orange maple leaves in the autumn combined with acorns for the harvest. The cup's suit is aligned with autumn season, as autumn is linked to the element of water. The maple leaves symbolise elegance, beauty and energy, while the acorns bring prosperity and wisdom. Okay, right, let's have a look at this magician's energy. Card number 1. You are my number one, number one, number one. The magician stands at... Can we get these words out? The magician stands behind an altar at dawn with his pentagram around his neck and magical symbols embroidered upon his robe. With the wand in his hand, he draws a lemniscate, the infinity symbol, in the air above him. Oh, this is really bizarre. Because as I was listening to something outside, we've got a table out there, and I noticed like there was a few little dots on the table, and I was doing like the infinity symbol around them, and it took me to like, they look like owl eyes. And it was like, okay, this is a little bit... I saw the sign. So with the wand in his hand, he draws a lemniscate, the infinity symbol, in the air above him, reminding us that as within, so without. With his other hand, he points down to the earth to illustrate another classic magical proverb, as above, so below. On the altar lie the classic witches' tools, which are also the symbols of the 4 suits of the minor arcana. The cup to represent the element of water, the sword for air, the hawthorn wand for fire, and the golden pentacle for the element of the earth. Well, that's where they all are on here as well. So he's got his hands on the tools. The magician is a commander of the 4 natural elements. By combining his personal power together with the natural elements, he makes magic through the sheer force of his will. He stands beneath a bower of red roses, which represents harmony. The 4 lilies in the foreground symbolise the purity of his relationship with deity and his creativity. And I believe it's like what come through was he must be getting there, because I don't have 4, but I have 3 lilies growing in the garden. Like 2 are really strong and tall. The other one's just a little bit behind, but it will catch up. If you have a look, it's the feminine here that is polishing up. It's the polishing up act. He helped the masculine to polish up his act. So the 4 lilies in the foreground, symbolise the purity of his relationship. I think they're calla lilies. Not sure if they're peace lilies. I'm not completely sure about my lilies too much. The 4 lilies in the foreground symbolise the purity of his relationship with deity and his creativity. The 4 fairies in the card represent each of the 4 natural elements: the green fairy for earth, red for fire, blue for water, and yellow for air. The fairies fluttering around the magician's altar show us how he is intimately connected to and has a strong working relationship with the elementals and the awesome powers of the natural world. Now, I did feel like using the fairy deck, so if I do come back on later on, we shall tap into the fairies, because as I was getting ready earlier, I noticed that there was a fairy in my bedroom. I was like, hello, what are you doing in here? So, and I've been seeing not what I would call fairies, but other like really tiny, minute, flying things. Right, okay. Listen, we've got 6 minutes. I'm going to use these cards that I've got. We're not... This Knight of Pentacles. Let's read about this Knight of Pentacles here. Because he's sitting on the bottom of my deck, and it was the Knight of Cups. I'm not going to read that one. Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is patiently sitting still while mounted on a black horse. Now, who would have the black horse? Divine Feminine or Divine Masculine? Divine Feminine. Okay, that's like her portion. Portion of the... Well, she's the yin. The Knight's visor is up, and he is looking carefully at the surrounding countryside. He seems friendly, but he is still just a little mysterious. The golden pentacle he carries close to his chest, like a shield, symbolises the knight's steadfast faithfulness. The knight's armour is polished to a gleam. Look what she's polishing here. Helping him to polish up his act. Okay. Green, the knight's armour is polished to a gleam, and he wears a grass green tunic and a cloak. Green is the colour of nature, fairy, fertility and witchcraft. The trim, bridle and reins on the knight's horse all bear a green leaf motif, another visual link to the earth element. The Knight of Pentacles is okay, that's interesting. Well, for one, it's interesting because somebody asked me the other day what my favourite colour was, and I said green. So, but this part here, the Knight of Pentacles is a representative of the goddess, as is the Green Knight of myth and legend. And just like the Green Knight, the Knight of Pentacles does not actively seek out battles, but he is ready for them all the same. Note the heraldic stag on the horse's emerald parade cloak. In heraldry, the stag symbolises harmony, peace, and that the knight will not fight unless he is provoked, which makes it a perfect symbol for our Knight of Pentacles. In the background we see a yellow sky at dawn, golden and green fields, and a stream. A magnificent stag appears, silhouetted against the landscape. The stag represents the element of earth and the qualities that encompass the Knight of Pentacles, such as pride, poise, strike a pose, there's nothing to poise and integrity. Right, let's go to the magical unicorns, because I feel these have wanted to be used for a couple of days now. So, and the mermaids and dolphins, I made mention of them a couple of days ago. Right, let's get this reading wrapped up, guys. I need to finish with your daily activity though. You are gifted. You are very intelligent and talented. This card wants you to know that you're very intelligent. Like a high-speed computer, you have the ability to learn and memorise a lot of material. You're especially gifted in finding out which topics interest you. You also have the gift of creativity. With your wisdom and your ability to see things in a special way, you can be successful at almost anything. This is how the masculine's viewing you, Divine Feminine. My eyes twitching, okay. What was that? Blink twice if you're in trouble. Was that what that person said? Or that message said? You have a different way of learning, so you may have had experiences in which you didn't feel you were smart. It's just a matter of figuring out how your mind works. For instance, do you think in pictures? If so, you'll need to learn material by seeing them in your mind's eye. Or do you tend to think in feelings? If so, you'll learn best by hearing emotional stories or by touching and feeling examples of what you're learning about. If people don't understand you, don't let it bother you. What's important is that you remember who you are, a smart, wise, talented and gifted person. Although you may be different from other people, You have a lot to offer. Use your talents to help others, finish any projects that you start, and know that you're a gift to the world in many special ways. That's lovely. But she's finishing up off a project, isn't she? Come back and finish what you started, and don't leave me hanging on. Hanging on. Jeez. My timekeeping is questionable. Divine magic. Extra magical energy surrounds your situation right now. Expect miracles. Now, I'm not going to... It's going to tell us to pay attention to the next card that we pull, which I'm pulling from the Journey of Love. Divine magic. It's a kind of magic. Not a lot to say, really. Look. This card signifies that the next oracle card you pull out of the deck is surrounded by divine magical energy. The Divine Magic card urges you to pay very special attention to this card and do your best to follow its message. The Divine Magic card indicates that a spiritual gateway has opened for you. At such times, your ability to manifest is heightened. Use this time to focus upon your desires. If you're unsure what you truly want, ask for divine guidance through prayer, meditation, or ritual. Okay, let's pay extra special attention and listen and follow its guidance. Okay, the Journey of Love. Seriously, they're like hanging off the edge of the... That's interesting. Grandparent. You have a special bond with a grandparent that can never be broken. So when we've been reading this daily activity, and it's like kind of, well, it's going over the different areas of sameness, should we say that, between like your dreaming state, and you can be an awake dreamer as well. It keeps mentioning about a grandparent. Your grandmother can like come to you at like such and such age, and then be such and such age, and you go through like your whole life within the course of like an 8-hour dream. Let's make it an 81-year dream. You know what I'm talking about if you've been paying attention. Divine magic. Extra magical energy surrounds your situation right now. Expect miracles. Just for a moment. Joy. That's just my age. 46. I was listening to Bryan Adams this morning. It was like, I'm gonna be 18 till I die. Okay. One day I'll be 18, going on 55. 18 till I die. When we feel and express what we choose at any given moment, is our offering to the divine cosmic matrix. It germinates and is reflected back to us as manifestation in this material reality. Can you choose to gentle your heart, to let it be open to light and to life, even if just for a moment? If you are in the midst of darkness, of deep suffering, can you find, even for just a moment, the joy of existence underneath it? It is a wild ride, this life, and every time you open your arms in yes, the universe responds in kind. This oracle brings you a message. In this moment, trust that there is joy waiting to be felt and found, no matter how hard that may be to believe right now. Let go of your attachment to the apparent problems at hand as much as you can, and you will be allowing yourself to let the divine take over and sort out what needs to happen here. There is help awaiting your invitation always. Why not let it in and let joy in too? You are being offered divine support to live a less guarded existence, to dissemble yourself a little or a lot, and let your true nature which is joy, bubble to the surface, without rhyme or reason, other than just because it lives. Look at this, divine magic. Love is magic, like a balmy breeze on a winter night. It feels so good, you want it to last forever. And love is magic because we make it so, by opening to the pleasure of being alive and sharing the joy we feel. And when we're not looking, the night may warm again. When we're paying attention, let go of the attachment. Today's activity. Okay. What day are we on? Okay, so we had done every obstacle is an opportunity. That was for yesterday. So today, Sunday, you create everything that you need for the dream. As waking dreamers, we know deep within that when we die, our consciousness will live on in a new dimension, and that everything experienced on our present level of wakefulness will appear as an illusion. Thus, just as in the dreaming body, everything that we need for the waking dream is created by us, even the people whom we experience as difficult. They are in our life because we put them there. They have important lessons to teach us. Today, concentrate on asking yourself, why did I create this in my life? Take responsibility for everything that is in your life, believing that you created it all. Dedicate this Sunday to experimenting with this self-realization. Respond today as if everything that comes your way was put there by you, just as everything that you experienced in your dream last night was created by you. What did you dream about last night? I'm just nosy. Tell me. Everything that happens to us is in some way a mirroring of our inner beliefs. When you really and truly know that you create every aspect of your daily life, then you will learn to discontinue disharmony and to discover its message. When you no longer need to learn how to deal with disharmony in your life, you will stop creating it, and you will create love and harmony virtually everywhere you turn. Today is your day to keep this uppermost in your consciousness all day long. That's good. Okay, like 9 minutes over. He's still out there with the lawnmower. I don't really feel that there's any rush. So, there is. He told me there's no rush, but I said, no, look, we want to get out, don't we? But I will leave you with one more message. We're going to go for the Rumi Oracle. This was interesting, wasn't it? I don't know why I'm seeing if anyone else has wrote anything, because it stays up now. It stays up. I wanna be beaten till I die. We can take this card. The courage of your love. Did we have this card like not that long ago? I get bored with the same cards. So I'm going to pull another one. Okay. I just feel like that's not the message that I want to end on. Is this one the message I want to end on? Yes. You want to know what it is. The Divine Mother manifests. $38. It's coming through now. It's like the white rabbit, because it's like 38 and I'm late. It's like I'm late, I'm late, I'm very, very late. It's all good. Love is without reason. Rationality is like a cane. Judgment needs a cane because it is blind. When love arrives, thought dies in its shadow. Love is the sunrise, while thought is only a flashing light. Rumi. I do not bleat at you like a lamb, for to startle you from your slumber I need to roar like a lion. You must awake, my beloved. There is no time to waste, for the wolves are circling, hungry for sacred flesh. So I shall roar mightily, and although at first you recoil in fear, soon enough you will see the wolves. You become aware and grateful to have been thus awoken. Ah yes, you remember that you have a precious human life to protect. You fear me no more. You thank me. You jump on my back as if you were a warrior astride a wild mount. Isn't that what that said? This knight was astride this black horse. Okay. You become aware and grateful to have been thus awoken. Ah yes, you remember that you have a precious human life to protect. You fear me no more. You thank me. You jump on my back as if you were a warrior astride a wild mount. You roar then, along with me, awakening the others as we cause the ground to rumble, disturbing those even in their deepest slumber. Let's get ready to rumble! You, like me, are a fierce lion, not a lamb, to be led to so many slaughters, the variety and opportunity for which is available in terrible abundance in our world. 15. O you living in a world of 6 directions, accept the gloom and accept the bliss, for those seeds buried in the ground will one day grow into fruitful orchards. Rumi. We share her, this divine mother, you and I. We are her precious children. We are born through her love, and she shares in our losses and our gains, our tragedies and our triumphs. Her hair forms the galaxies, her thoughts become the stars. The sun is her own warmth, and her breath is felt upon this earth, causing the roar of the ocean waves. Her voice is heard in the call of the whales and the trill of the birds. She is all, nurturing life into existence. She is in my reaching for you, and she is in your acceptance of my divine hand. She is all, this great lady. Nothing lies outside of her sphere of influence and power, compassion and grace. And that includes you and your dreams, great and small, my angel of love. This oracle comes to you via the sacred grace and mercy of the Divine Mother, who is the great manifesting expression of divinity. All that is created, all that is made manifest without exception, flows from her being. That is why it is safe to trust in life, even, most especially, the inexplicable mystery, and even the darkness that may give rise to fear and judgment within us. It is all part of her unfathomable workings. So we pray for light, we pray for love, we honour and live our lives with its mysteries with as much integrity as we can muster. But beyond that, it is best to participate in this life with much less certainty than the mind would have us believe necessary for inner peace. Inner peace doesn't come with understanding, it comes with trusting. Can we understand a star or a galaxy? Perhaps not, yet we can choose to trust in its beauty and beingness, and from it derive great energy, hope, and inspiration. The ways of the Divine Mother are not to be judged by our limiting standards, rather than can be witnessed, experienced, and received. What a relief to not need to understand. What a relief to simply live with trust and know that everything will work its way out. Through those wise ways of the Divine Mother, there is a gift headed to you now. Will you receive it? That gift is one of manifestation. Something you have been working towards, growing into, loving, and dreaming for, perhaps for a very long time, is finally coming to fruition. Perhaps you have caught a sniff of the aromas from the divine kitchen and know the meal is nearly ready and it smells delicious. Or perhaps you have already been a curious and naughty angel. You've poked your head through a door to the divine dining room only to be captivated by the candlelight dancing in reflection upon gleaming silverware and the subtle sounds of crystal goblets and finest china being laid down upon an exquisite dining table. Or maybe, dearest one, you have absolutely no clue what is about to happen. With your thoughts and attention so often turned to the past or future, you have yet to realise what is coming to life for you this moment. Perhaps you will not gain any advance notice. You will instead run smack into the middle of a dinner party hosted in your honour and perhaps even feel unprepared, wondering if this morning's yoga attire is suitable for such a grand occasion. You are being asked to receive this gift completely and utterly, whether you feel sufficiently worthy or not, or appropriately and readily attired. It is time, and the bestowal of this gift is as it should be. Whether it seems to be in the best form, or how it should be according to your opinion, or the opinions of others, it is as the Divine Mother has accorded it to be. She has her wild ways, of course, and oftentimes her workings in the world are, to put it mildly, downright unfathomable. Yet somehow all things, all creations, all of life, her every working, serve love. You are one of her creations, and so is the imminent manifestation of your own heart truths. Live it, love it, receive it completely. It is yours and meant to be so. This oracle comes with additional guidance for you. No matter whether or not things appear to be working out, they are, and you are held in the loving protection of the Divine Mother to keep you from straying from your highest path and divine destiny. There is work here for you to do upon this planet in your own unique way. It is the work of the Divine Mother, the work of love. So then, allow her to care for you, even if you wonder what the heavenly minx is up to at times. Guys, have yourself a fantastic day. I will catch up with you all soon. Good morning, Pandora. Good afternoon. Woke up from a dream that instantly pulled me to want to message my DM and see if he was alright and say I miss him. Laugh out loud. Was a strong pull. Completely ignored it though. Okay. I've just spoken, Pandora, before you came on. It was like, what did you dream about last night? Tell me. And you just have manifestation, so thank you for that. Rewatch this video, Pandora. Pay attention to the signs, synchronizations, the dreams. Okay. Don't choose to completely ignore it, because you know that you completely ignored it. I love you all dearly. I'll catch up with you soon. So, I'll catch up with you soon. I'll catch up with you all soon. Mr. Fly in the room. Okay. Re-listen, Pandora. It's not a, well, it was only meant to be a 15-minute reading. 50 minutes. She does it again. Guys, I'll catch up with you soon. Take care. Much love. Have a great Sunday.